is Josefina, and the title of my speech is Potential is Not a Number. Did you know that the average age of world leaders is currently 62? Even though 1.3 billion of the world population is aged between 15 and 24. The United Nations reported last year that parliament members that are younger than 30 do not even amount to 3%. How is it possible that in a world where priorities have changed and new skills and abilities have taken important leadership roles, youth still hasn't gotten a chance to take the center stage in policymaking and relationships between countries? It has become evident that older adults are ignoring the fact that the solution to global problems can be in the hands of young people, since governments cannot be left alone to solve this monumentous task. Youth needs to be taken into consideration in politics from today's world. This proves that society needs to understand that age is not a factor that should be taken into account when evaluating leadership skills. In today's world, every decision a country makes can have a huge impact on relationships and possibly peace between nations. For this reason, governments should rely on younger generations to take part in these processes, for it is only together that we can achieve our goals. We recognize the expertise of people who have dedicated their lives to society, and we value the wisdom that comes with years. We only ask that you grant us the opportunity to lend a hand, understanding that our distinct points of view and the way we see the world can be a perfect complement needed to solve people's problems. Governments should be the ones encouraging young people to participate in politics, as well as providing them with good civic education and governance instances where they can take part in formal political participation. Why not lower the age requirements for office taking? Why should people have to wait until they're 35 to run for senatorial office and just then be allowed to contribute in decision-making and peace building? These long-standing conditions only perpetuate the distance between age groups and thus impede us to collaborate. Polls conducted and published this month by Pew Research Center state that younger generations tend to be more internationally oriented than older adults. They usually have a more positive view on international organizations and are more likely to prioritize international cooperation. So why am I talking about inviting more young people to take part in government? Because one of the most important things that governments need today is good relationships with other nations. And young people are already there. We naturally build bridges across communities, which make us effective communicators. We set our eyes on a world issue that needs to be tackled, and then we do something about it. And we do it as an age group, where gender, race, or religion do not matter. Think of a certain young activist who has recently moved the masses. Are you thinking about the same one that I am? She may be a bit controversial, but no one can deny that Greta Thunberg has brought environmental issues back to the spotlight. She founded Fridays for Future, a youth-led, organized global climate strike movement that reported their 200 weeks of strikes worldwide last June. In fact, I personally follow their Instagram account, including the Chilean Fridays for Future account. So imagine the impact she had in the world to reach countries from all continents, including my own. But not only environmental issues are important to today's youth. We also care about education, gender equality, racism, among countless others. We use activism as a way to express our worries, a way to be heard. And turns out there is a lot to hear, since these young people come up with amazing solutions, proposals, and points of view that governments should be paying attention to. Furthermore, what is so beautiful about activism is that it is inclusive and accessible to all. It does not discriminate. Instead, it brings people together from all walks of life, who have been historically marginalized and excluded from politics, where it has a leave no one behind mentality. In conclusion, this world needs to be taking advantage of youth's contributions by having more young leaders to work on global issues and relationships. So to the older adults here, at the beginning of this speech, I told you that people aged between 15 and 24 sum up to 16% of the world population. That is a huge number of people that's being left out of politics. So stop calling us the future leaders and let us be today's leaders too. Stop postponing our time to help and be heard. Let us sit at the table. Let us express our opinions and worries and present our proposals. Understand that with our help, the world can be a better place if we combine our strengths. So do not silence us for a simple factor such as age. Thank you. Hi.
Thank you very much for your speech. You've talked about young people getting involved in leadership, right? How would you motivate young people like you to participate more and take social action?
Well, I believe that the government has a huge role in this when it comes to funding programs and instances just like this one. Instances where young people can participate and create like a space of debate where people can talk and speak up and come up with opinions. So just like this public speaking competition, I think that starting by the base of education and giving people these opportunities, you're already motivating young people to later participate in politics, or maybe not even that later. That's the whole point. So by having more programs where where people can talk about certain topics, where there can be debate, public speaking, for example, solving problems. By having all these opportunities, you're already giving young people the opportunity to be interested in politics and to form their own opinions so they can actually participate in politics in the future.
Okay,
thank you.
Outside of congratulations on your speech, by the way. So, but they've been very, very good today and fascinating to hear the views that are being expressed.
Thank you.
I would ask you if you cooked, but I'm not going to do that this time. But the question I have is, outside of money and public funding, where do you see, before university, because university provides a forum which we know is very effective for student development and freedoms of speech, but what other for people before university do you see outside of the English-speaking union? Is sport or other areas where you see opportunities for greater awareness of what's going on in life?
Well, I think that one of the most important skills that people need today, and especially in this world, is the skills of communication and teamwork with other people, especially people who do not think just like you. So as you said, for example, sports are an amazing way, an amazing opportunity for people to actually get to know people from different backgrounds. All activities that involve getting to know more people, getting to know people from different places. I think all those instances actually help to bring more awareness into what is going on in the world. For as insignificant as it can be regarding politics, just by playing a sport or having a hobby, or I don't know, go watching movies with your friends, just by having these instances with more people, you're already creating consciousness about different topics. And just like that, you are getting more and more closer to politics. Thank you.
So you mentioned several topics that are important for young people, and I want to know which one is particularly important for you and why.
One of my favorite topics that I mentioned is actually environmental issues. Personally, I am in my school's environmental committee because I really care about this topic, since it is a topic that's so important nowadays, since people are talking about how climate change is going to become reversible and how government should be taking action about this. So I really like this topic, and by being in this group, I get to know people that care about this too. And we can work just like from our community to then have a greater impact on the whole world. And what I think is so beautiful about it is that there are so many people in this world who actually care about environmental issues and climate change, that when you get to know these people, you actually realize that there is hope for humanity. So I really like that.
Thank you.
Thank you.